The night Daniel finally agreed to open his door to someone new, his hands were shaking so badly he had to press them against his jeans. 3 years of single fatherhood had trained him to be strong in crises but fragile in quiet moments like this. The hallway light flickered above him, his small apartment smelling faintly of detergent and reheated pasta, and he told himself this was just a blind date, nothing more. Then the knock came. Daniel opened the door, forced a smile, and froze completely when the woman standing there looked past him and calmly said that her kids were waiting in the car. In that instant, every fear he had buried about love, loss, and his own children came rushing back at once. Before the story goes any further, take a second to pause. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and the quiet strength of people who keep going even when life breaks them, please like this video, share it with someone who needs hope, comment your thoughts, and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps stories like this reach hearts that need them. Daniel had never imagined his first date since his wife's passing would feel like stepping into a storm. He had met the woman, Emily, through a mutual friend who insisted that they were both good people who deserved happiness. Daniel had hesitated for weeks before agreeing. His world revolved around his 2 young children, Liam and Sophie, who were asleep in the next room right now, their soft breathing the reason he woke up every morning. Dating felt selfish, risky, almost like a betrayal of the life he had rebuilt from ashes. When Emily mentioned during their brief messages that she was a single mom too, he felt a cautious sense of relief. But he had assumed the kids would come later, not arrive with her on the very first night. As Emily stood there, calm but visibly nervous, Daniel's mind raced. He imagined his children waking up and seeing a stranger in their home. He imagined judgment, complications, emotional chaos. The weight of responsibility pressed down on his chest, and for a moment he considered politely ending the night before it began. Yet something about Emily's expression stopped him. There was no manipulation in her eyes, no drama. Only honesty and exhaustion, the same exhaustion he saw every morning in the mirror. Life had forced her to make hard choices too. Daniel's past had taught him to fear moments like this. After losing his wife to illness, he had learned how fragile happiness was. He worked long hours, cooked, cleaned, helped with homework, and read bedtime stories even when his own heart felt hollow. People often praised him for being strong, but they never saw how lonely strength could be. Every night after his kids fell asleep, silence filled the apartment like a heavy fog. He told himself he was fine, that love was no longer meant for him. But some part of him still hoped. Emily explained that her babysitter had cancelled at the last minute and she had almost turned around, but she did not want to disappoint him or herself. Daniel listened, torn between logic and emotion. He thought about how many times his own plans had collapsed because of his kids, how often he had felt embarrassed or guilty for needing flexibility. Slowly, the tension in his shoulders eased. He realized this moment was not a red flag but a reflection of real life. And real life, messy as it was something he understood deeply. Daniel made a choice that would quietly change everything. He invited Emily in and suggested they keep the night simple. He checked on Liam and Sophie, then helped Emily bring her children up. The apartment suddenly felt smaller but warmer, filled with soft footsteps and cautious glances. The children were shy, tired, and unsure, much like Daniel's own kids had been when he first brought them to this place after the funeral. Watching the 4 children sit awkwardly with their coloring books and snacks, Daniel felt something unexpected stir in his chest. Not fear, but recognition. The evening unfolded without perfection. There were spilled drinks, nervous smiles, and long pauses where no one quite knew what to say. Yet there was also laughter, the kind that sneaks up on you when you least expect it. Daniel noticed how Emily spoke gently to all the children, not just her own. He saw how patient she was, how she didn't pretend to have everything figured out. She admitted her life was complicated, that she was tired of pretending she could do it all alone. That honesty cracked something open inside him. As the kids grew more comfortable, Daniel reflected on how much he had changed. Once, he had believed love meant control and certainty. Now he understood that love was about showing up, even when things were inconvenient or scary. It was about accepting people where they were, not where you wished them to be. Watching Emily help Sophie with a puzzle, Daniel realized that maybe love after loss did not erase pain. Maybe it simply taught you how to carry it with more grace. By the end of the night, the apartment was quieter again. The children were asleep, curled up on couches and beds, and Daniel and Emily sat in the dim light of the kitchen, both emotionally drained but oddly peaceful. There was no dramatic promise of forever, no fairy tale ending in sight. Just a shared understanding that they were not alone anymore. That understanding felt more powerful than any romance Daniel had known before. Life did not suddenly become easy after that night. There were challenges, misunderstandings, and moments when old fears resurfaced. Blending lives was hard, and trust took time. But Daniel found himself looking forward to mornings again. He found himself smiling more, laughing without guilt, and allowing his children to see that healing did not mean forgetting. It meant growing. Just before we reach the end, I have a special request for you. Please comment below and share your thoughts on this story. Let us know if you believe that love can return even after deep loss, and if second chances can come in unexpected forms. In the end, Daniel realized that opening the door that night was not just about meeting a woman. It was about opening himself to the possibility that his broken heart could still love, that his children could still gain something beautiful instead of losing more. Sometimes the bravest thing a person can do is let life surprise them again. If this story touched your heart, if it reminded you of your own struggles, losses, or quiet hopes, please take a moment now to like, share, and engage with this video. Your support keeps these stories alive and reminds others that they are not alone.